And now, a word from our sponsors. This episode is sponsored by Samaj Music Group, a Louisiana-based independent record label, bringing to you all original music with that Louisiana sound. Their genre includes rap, R&B, hip-hop, funk, and pop. To get a feel for their sound and featured artists added to your playlist, be sure to go follow them on Instagram at Samaj Music Group and Facebook for updates and up-and-coming projects today. Samaj Music Group. Strategic Peoples, a Louisiana-based music production team specializing in audio, visuals, and media. This group is also well diverse and can get to work on your next up-and-coming album projects. Be sure to check out strategicpeoples.com today and follow them on Instagram and Facebook at Strategic Peoples. For anything music, think Strategic Peoples. You're listening to One Sound, One Scene podcast, a Strategic Peoples production, where we highlight and promote entrepreneurs, startup businesses, independent music, and creators while offering information and inspiration on topics everyone can relate to.
We ain't playing. That's it. Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to One Sound, One Scene podcast, representing the 337, the flatlands of Lafayette, Louisiana. It's your girl, Slane Marie.
And your girl, Daisha Nicole.
Be sure to go to our website at onesoundonescene.buzzsprout.com on your mobile or web device. Hit the subscribe button in the top right-hand corner of the screen to get updates on new episodes. You can also subscribe on YouTube at One Sound, One Scene. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications for up-and-coming shows and to catch up on past episodes. We have a special guest joining us today. He's a motivational speaker, fitness trainer, psychologist, and author of the self-help book titled, What's Your Kick? The Guide to Unlocking Your Passion. Welcome to the show, Mr. Seanathan Polidore. How are you today, sir?
I am doing amazing. I am awesome. I'm highly blessed, man. I'm pumped up. I can't wait. I'm
I
excited.
can't wait either.
I'm
Sound excited,
yeah.
sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, today we are talking about your book, What's Your Kick? First and foremost, I like to say great read.
I appreciate
I've
it.
read a few self-help books in the past, and I must say this one was one of the most vivid books I've read in a long time.
Okay.
In terms of the stories you were talking about, like talking to your mentor to help you discover your manifesto,
Yes.
training for fitness competitions, and going to
Yeah, my
college.
God.
Hey, hold on. You're spilling it. I'm not finished.
I'm sorry, she's not done.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm going to read it anyway.
Yeah. And then, the way you broke things down in the book is really relatable to anyone, whether you're an avid reader or just a beginner. So this book can resonate with any level. So with that being said, have you always aspired to become a writer, or did it
No.
just happen?
No, I did not always. Typical African American male, unfortunately, I spent 80% of my life as an athlete.
Uh-huh.
From probably 3 years old until the past 10 to 12 years of my life is all about athletics, whether that be martial art, basketball, most of my life, and then ultimately fitness training. So
Mm-hmm.
everything about me, unfortunately, was about my physicality and what that brought to the table. I did so many things. All my public speaking I'm doing right now, I started off doing the fitness thing first, as far as
Yeah.
going to the schools, talking about health and wellness, doing fitness demonstrations and pull-up tricks and push-up tricks and all this stuff. And now I go into the school as an intellect. I go into the school as a thought leader. I go into the school showing the kids the importance of literacy and education and using your mind to get through those doors, not your hands and your body.
Right.
See, most times it's mostly a female conversation about their body and not getting their mind respected. Well, I was going to these schools because of my body, not my mind.
Mm.
So when the school started calling me for my mind and not my body, that was a big drastic change for me
Yeah.
as a man, as a person.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of
Yes.
what sparked the motivational speaking and all that.
Well, in the beginning, it was like I said, the physicality, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was blessed to meet some guys out of New York called the bartenders, right? And they do self-empowerment, motivation, but through fitness. Fitness is like a step show for a fraternity or sorority.
Mm-hmm.
You get the glitz and glamour and the hand class for the fitness, but they're dropping all these educational jewels in the middle of that. So
Wow.
I'm out there in New York going to all of these schools with these guys in Coney Island and Brooklyn and the Bronx and all that. But I'm seeing these guys' ability on the microphone to motivate thousands of kids with their words. Beyond their physicality and their strength, their power with their words and their mind really caught my attention
Yeah.
almost 12 years ago, and their level of intellect. So whenever I came back home, I started reading a ton of books and doing more public speaking about education and uplifting yourself more so than health and wellness.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that started my journey.
Wow. You just never know what's gonna unlock another
No,
passion, you know?
you can never know. No, ma'am. Yes.
That's
So,
strange, huh?
yeah. So, when did you realize you wanted to write this book and how did it come
Okay.
about?
Okay. So, first and foremost, I probably spent, let's lowball it and say, the past 13, 14 years of my life reading books night and day.
Mhm.
Night and day, I'm just binging on books. That's what I do. Hundreds of books. So I felt like, you know what, Sean, it's only right before you die to at least write one book.
Yeah.
You love books so much.
That's the
Stop
goal.
being a
Just one.
consumer and be a producer, right?
Mhm.
And then it's in the book, actually, if you read it or not. My wife and I went to UL's library on their
Mhm.
campus. And I was so excited to go to the UL library, be in the college library, and find my African American history.
And they had
And I was
nothing.
so disappointed at what they had.
Right, right.
And so, to answer your question specifically, the anger and the rage I felt about that, I told one of my friends about it. He said, Sean, write your own book.
Mhm.
And that sparked me like, you know what? I think I will. And that's really how Whistle Kick got written, because of my frustration at the UL library.
And the lack
So if it
thereof.
wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have written the book, to be totally real.
That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
on your journey to writing this book, did you learn
Yes.
anything surprisingly new about yourself?
Yes. Well, I wouldn't say surprisingly, right? It's the same tried and true thing with me. Nothing ever come to me easy. Nothing.
Mhm.
Nothing's ever handed to me. So my ability to take adversity, take trials and tribulations, the stick to itiveness, that dogged determination, and I mentioned it in my book about stubborn goals, flexible methods.
Mhm.
I stayed stubborn about this goal no matter how many adversities in my life happen, in my family, on my job. 'Cause at the time writing this book, I had two jobs and going to school for my master's.
Mhm.
So I wasn't just sitting with my feet up at Starbucks writing the book. Like, I was writing the book in the middle of the hurricane.
Yeah.
And so I proved to myself that I could withstand anything, is what I learned about myself in writing this book.
So, in writing this book, like how long did it take you to complete? Because I know, you most
Right.
likely was writing it on your breaks and off time, kind of
Oh,
like part
yeah.
time.
Right,
So,
right,
like,
right.
how long was your
Well,
journey?
it's a complex answer, right? So actual writing time, it might have been barely 4 months.
Yeah.
But in
Real
between
lifetime?
that, you go into the editing phase, for example, right? You're not just going through the thing one time like, all right, it's good. You're doing, I mean, like being in a music game, what you do with the music, you're
Mhm.
going through this thing 1,000 times.
Yes.
So, like, I read Wish Your Kick probably 12, 13 times before it even went to the publisher.
Right.
So by the time the book finally came out, I did not read my own book. When I finally got it in my hand, I did not want to read my own book
You
because
was
I read it
tired.
so many times,
Yeah.
going through the process, and then you got the formatting process. Like, all of these individual things could take weeks per process.
Mhm.
The writing is a small part of the equation. Is the editing, there's the formatting, there's getting the cover right. There's all kind of components to writing the book that people don't think about
Yeah.
when it comes to that. But so the total time, it might have been 6, 7 months total time to produce this book.
That's good. I thought it was gonna take a lot longer. I thought about writing my
You know,
own book too.
you should, you should. I think every person on the planet has an individual story that
Yeah.
needs to be told.
Yeah.
That's my real opinion.
But I think you know when the time is right.
You
Like,
will though.
I feel like when that time
You
is gonna
can't
be
force it.
right. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm gonna
You're
be
going to.
inspired to do it.
Yes, because I'm gonna tell you what, it's gonna be so strong in your chest, in your mind,
Mhm.
it will not stop until you start writing.
Yeah.
You're gonna be tossing and turning at night. You can't sleep. In the morning, the first thing in the morning, like, man, I gotta get this out of me. That's how I
Yeah.
felt.
Yeah.
I had to get this out of me.
Yeah.
And then when you finally do it, you can sleep. You have
Uh-huh.
peace. You have that calm. Whenever you do, that's what the book is all about, right? Your life calling, your purpose.
Yeah.
When you're finally doing your purpose, it's so much more peace in your life.
Yeah.
Even with a lack of money, even with a not so hot relationship, even with a bad job, when you do what you're supposed to do, the peace is unreal.
And not just a peace, you get clarity.
Clarity.
So
Yes.
much clarity. Like my mind be
Yes.
free. I feel like I'm in order.
Yes.
Like,
Everything is good with the world.
yes, yes. I don't have bad days.
No. But to also answer your question about the speed of my writing, I did a lot of outlining and background work before I sat to write.
Mm-hmm.
So I was never just sitting in front of the computer with a blank screen like, oh, what I'm about to say. I knew every writing session exactly what I'm about to say.
Mm.
I had all the chapter titles already. I had the sub-chapter titles already. I know when I'm going to sit down at 2 o'clock, I'm writing about this today.
Yeah.
And I did not write the book in order, which is very unorthodox.
Yeah, yeah. Now
I
let me
did not
ask
write
you
the book
this.
in order.
You
Go ahead.
know, we have full lives, all of us as people. How
Yes.
did you pinpoint exactly what part of your life you wanted to put in this book? Because, like me, if I sit down thinking about writing a book, I mean, I got so much. I can't even really tell a story without
You're
it
right.
being like an hour or too long.
Yeah, because
So,
I'm
just writing a
37, right?
book.
I'm 37 years old, but I feel like I've had 4 lifetimes already.
Yeah.
And talking to certain people, they know Sean from certain points of the 4 phases.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on who you are. To answer your question, when I did my outline of the book, it was all based on principles. So the parts of my life I chose to be transparent about was only to display this particular principle.
Mm.
I'm showing you when I was disciplined. I'm showing you me goal setting, chapter 8,
Mm-hmm.
reverse engineering your goals. I'm showing you me finding a mentor. All those things were principles. And I'm just showing you my life, how I utilize that principle.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to be transparent so the reader could see this is how I overcame certain things.
Yeah.
And maybe you can do it too.
Yeah.
So the book is not meant to be like Sean knows it all, Sean got the answers. It's meant like this is what I did to overcome some things. Maybe you can use these tools.
Right, right. And that's what I got from it. Like, and
Yeah.
it helped me sit down and like reanalyze like what I was even doing. Like I told you, I said I'm stuck on finding my manifesto. Like for a while, I
It's
couldn't get
important.
past that page. Like I need to figure out my manifesto. I mean, I
Yes.
put that book down
Yes.
and I sat down and I pondered and I pondered, and I said, you know what? At the end of the book, I said, all this time I believe I already had my manifesto.
Oh, that's good. That's good. See, for me being the producer of the book, whenever people share with me what they got from the book, or they show me their actual notes, some people have done that. They show me their notes.
Mm-hmm.
They show me their highlights.
I was just
It
going to say that
reveals a
I have
lot
a
to me.
highlighter.
I have highlights in the book too. I don't
Yeah,
have notes,
I
but I
love it.
have highlights.
I tell all people, I want that book to be so tattooed up and the pages folded on the side.
I don't even
Like,
recognize it.
utilize the book. Right. Look what I say. If you want a pristine copy, buy more than one copy.
Mm-hmm.
But please take that book and mark it all up. Put the right in the margins. I mean, I want it to be totally toe up when I see it. Because that's when you're really, really using it.
Yeah.
It's like seeing a person with a real pristine Bible. You're not
Yeah.
using that Bible.
Oh yeah, that thing be so color coded. The sides be all bent up.
The sides bent up, you highlighting going to the next page.
Yep.
Like you show a person really you've been studying
Mm-hmm.
when you see that. They're doing the actual work. I tell any person, if you read What's Your Kick, front to back, and don't answer the questions, you miss 80% of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Because the writing in the book that I did is 20%.
Mm-hmm.
The questions you answer, that's the 80% of the book for you.
But I'm telling you, it made me ponder now.
You know?
It made me ponder.
That's good. I was going for that.
Yeah.
I want it to be a conversation, not like a one-sided, like a monologue, like me talking to you.
Yeah.
It's back and forth. I'm asking you questions. Answer the question.
Yeah. And I don't want to
back
give
to me.
away all the jewels in the book, because if anybody listening that never heard it, right?
I'm looking
Yeah,
like,
you got to
come
get to
on.
work.
She look at you should see her. She look at him on the side of her face like, don't say nothing else.
I know, right? We killing it. We killing it. But nah, we not. I don't mind sharing, man.
But I'm going to just say this because I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts in the book, besides another part that I'm going to share today, is about the 4 M's. And I'm gonna just
Yes.
leave it at
Okay.
that.
Let's go with
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Let's go with it. Let's go with it.
No,
You
she
gonna
gonna leave
you gonna
it.
break it down? You
She
gonna
gonna
leave it
leave it
at
I'm
that
gonna
or
leave
what?
it at that. So y'all
Okay.
can go get the book and learn it
Okay.
for yourself.
Right. Can I just say something without
Huh.
spilling it? Okay. So the 4 M's. The point of that to me in the book as the producer, I felt like if a person could identify what specifically motivates and drives them, they can tap into that at will and get so many more of their goals done.
Yes.
So I felt like if I was in junior high, if I could have known what my motivation was, my tool, I probably could have been like 4.0 student.
Yeah. I believe
I
that.
probably could have got so much more done. I probably could have avoided some trouble I got into here and there if I would have known, Sean, this is
Mhm.
your M. And also, I kind of wrote in a controversial kind of way in that part because I want people to realize your M might not be cool to your sister. It might not be cool to your mama. It might not be cool
Mhm.
to your spouse, but this is your motivation.
Right.
If you are motivated by this, well, then do this. With all respect to them, you know?
One of my M's had me looking at myself in the mirror. And it was like I do get hung up on that because
Yeah.
I'm such a perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah. It's definitely a revelation, man.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yes. It's
Thanks
one of
for
my favorite
writing this
chapters
book.
as well.
Yeah.
People are probably listening like, what in the world are the ears?
Go read the book.
Can I give the ears or no?
Go ahead. Go
Go,
ahead.
look her face. Just go ahead.
It, okay. So one of the M's out of the 4 M's is money.
Mhm.
A lot of us are taught that money is the root of all evil, and if you like money, you're gonna fall, and blah blah blah. Like if money is your reason for staying up till 5 in the morning working on something, if getting a house for your family or getting your kids to a private school is your motivational drive, who am I to say that's wrong?
Right.
As long as you're not hurting people, you're not
Mhm.
hurting yourself, you're not doing something illegal, man, by all means, if a watch is your motivation, man, go get the watch.
Right.
And I know guys in my circle that are motivated by material things that I don't frown on them because of that. That's just not my particular M.
Mhm.
You know, another M was this kind of difficult, controversial, but the opposite sex, the mating, right?
Mhm.
That could be male or female, by the way, not just the guys.
Yeah.
But we've seen some celebrities, they're always surrounded by women, right?
Mhm.
Not saying they're literally sleeping with all these women. They love having that feminine energy around them. That's why they train the way they do. That's why they eat the way they do. That's why they write the way they write. Because of
Mhm.
that opposite sex energy. If you know that's your M, don't suppress that in yourself because society say, oh, no, you wrong for that, and you are this, you are that. If that's your M, just do it under control is what I would say in the book.
Yeah. I agree. Whatever
The
fuels your
third,
tank.
yeah, whatever fuels your tank. Just I say it like this, like it's a fire, right? A fire under control could cook the food to have dinner tonight.
Yep.
But out of control, burn the whole doggone house down.
Right.
Keep your fire under control.
Mhm.
And I even gave certain people to make examples, right? Floyd Mayweather, 50 Cent. Because there are a bunch of guys that you can tell they love the glamour, they love the
Mhm.
lights, they love the watches and the chains and the briefcase of money and the women. But look how they work. Look how they work. Look at their determination. Look at their discipline.
Unmatched.
Along with unmatched, clearly. Clearly. But you know why? Because Floyd, in 50, at an early age, realized this is my motivation.
Right.
This is why I'm getting punched in the face every day at practice. Admit that to yourself is all I'm asking, right? The third M was my favorite M for myself, mastery.
That's
I'm a
me.
public, I'm a public speaker. Now I'm a writer, and I do other things. I want to be the simple best at my craft possible. That's the mastery. Kobe Bryant, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods. We can name different people. The money happened to come along with their determination, right? It wasn't about the money though.
Right.
Like I'm shooting this basketball in an empty gym anyway.
Right.
I'm on this tennis court. The camera's on or off anyway. If I happen to get paid well for doing it, so be it. But
Extra
it's not the
icing.
reason why I'm doing it.
Right.
So a lot of what I do, I don't get paid all that much for. But I tell you what, nothing feels more gratifying than what I do.
Right.
Nothing I get paid for feels like what I love to do. That's real. Now the
Yeah.
fourth M, a lot of folks email me about this. They call me about this. We live in that world to where you want to have 10 different streams of income, right? And everybody want to be an entrepreneur. You want to be the CD man and sell pecan candy and do T-shirts and something else, right? We understand that. But the fourth M is momentum. These people
Mhm.
get off on starting stuff. Boy, I'm going to school. I just signed up for school.
Yeah.
I started an LLC. Or I got a nonprofit. Or I started this. Like they get off on starting stuff.
I know a bunch of people like that.
Like how about this? They get the same adrenaline rush for finishing something by starting something.
Mm.
They feel that same rush from getting that championship ring just by starting the season.
Right.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but if you know that's you got to find people in your team around you that's good at finishing and
Right.
executing.
Because they got some
These people are most times very visionary. I know some guys like
Yeah.
that. They're
I was about to say
visionary,
that. Great idea.
but their
Idea
ability
man.
to execute is not there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that high. So yeah, that's the full M's in a nutshell, people.
Yeah. So go get the
Get the
book.
book and dig into it. Yeah, man. Yeah.
I want to know.
Okay.
He said, "Okay, he read it."
I'm born ready, man. Born ready. I do this.
um, as you were writing the book, like, did you leave certain parts out and say, "No, I'm not going to talk about that"? Like, I'm not going to talk about that in this book. I want to leave it for another book. Like, do you have plans to write another book?
Yes, I do have plans to write a lot more books. Actually, like I said, I'm 37 years old. I'm still young, so
Yeah. You're
all,
young.
all, all, all the guys that I admire before they died, they wrote 50 and 60 and 80 books. All
Cool.
the guys I love, they wrote that many books.
Do you have
But
some
to answer
stuff?
your question, go ahead.
Do you have some stuff in your book? I mean, that you want to write about that you're not ready to write about, that you're still like, you know, working on trying to see if you even want to release that?
No, no. To answer your first initial question about this, What's Your Kick was definitely a bigger book than what it is. But my mentor and I going through the editing process, I wanted the book, like she said in the beginning, I wanted it to be an easy read. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted it to be a simple read. I know we live in a time where people have short attention span.
Mm-hmm.
The book couldn't be 300 pages long. I wanted a smaller project on purpose. So yes, there were parts of the book that we took out on purpose.
Okay.
But the next book, The Power of Your Circle, shameless plug, The Power of Your Circle. See, the first book is about yourself. You raising yourself up. You recognizing your gifts. The second book is about attaching yourself to other people now, to elevate that, to
Mm-hmm.
magnify that. Your circle can make you sink or swim.
Yep.
So that second project, see, first is you. The second book will be about the circle. And the third project, I can't talk about.
Yeah.
But
But basically,
it's,
you're
it's, it's,
giving
it's a
people
series.
the step-by-step
Yes,
process and how
yes.
to get to the end goal.
Because if I'm not good with myself just yet and I attach to a circle, I'm going to bring that team down now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I'm coming there with my hand out instead of coming there with a plate to put on the table. I'm not
Right.
bringing nothing to the table if I'm not right with myself.
And also, if you're not right with yourself, you're missing out on a lot of opportunities because you're not
You
going to
are.
be wise enough to see that.
No, you won't.
Mm-hmm.
And you will not have enough confidence to seize opportunities.
Mm.
Because most times, a lot of things come to it. And we think about it for real, honestly. The phone calls come, the emails come. Do you have enough courage in yourself to say yes? Do you feel worthy enough? Do you feel educated enough? Do you feel experienced or sharp enough to say yes?
Right.
That only comes from self-discovery,
Mm-hmm.
knowledge of self. So you will miss a lot of opportunities by not realizing your gifts, your weaknesses, your strengths. I mean, the whole nine. And all that's in What's Your Kick as you're answering those questions, you know?
Yeah. I had.
Because see, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I
Go.
had kind of a kind of talk like that with my son today. I was like, you need to broaden your perspectives and get around
Right.
people who's doing things a little bit different from you, and that's
Yes.
gone places that you might think about you want to go to, but you never gonna know if you want to go there unless you start hanging around with these type of people. Now, at the beginning,
Yes.
you might feel a
Yes.
little uncomfortable because
Yes.
that's not your comfort zone, but you win when you're uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
get used to being uncomfortable.
Nothing comes good in the comfort zone.
No.
Nothing. And like you were saying to him, I was blessed to go to the military out of high school. Now, I'll be real with you. I absolutely hated the military itself, but I did get a chance to see like 25 countries around the world.
Yeah.
And it did broaden my horizons to the possibilities in the world outside of Louisiana, outside of my little parish,
Yeah.
outside of the area where I'm used to being at. When you start seeing that global perspective, and you start getting friends from other cities and other states, I started getting a lot of Midwest friends and East Coast friends.
Mm.
It was like, wow. It
Yeah.
was very mind blowing. And like they say, once your mind is stretched, it can never go back to the original dimensions, right?
Exactly.
Those guys and ladies, they stretched me. And that made it possible for me to start getting my own self education and then formal education, and then you go from there.
Yeah. And then you have much more appreciation, and not just appreciation, but understanding of your starting point.
You do.
Because my husband was in the military as well. We didn't get the
Okay.
opportunity to travel to different countries, but I mean, just moving out of this state. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
and it allowed us, like you say, to meet different people coming from like overseas, Korea,
Yes.
other states and stuff
Yes.
like that, and meet new people, new personalities. Like you said, it broadens your horizon and it gives you a new perspective on life in general.
It
And
does.
like you said, get out the little parish.
Come on, man. You got to
And
travel, man.
yes, and when we moved back
I'm
home,
big on that.
I had a fresh pair of eyes for Louisiana. And when
You
I say
do.
eyes, it was much more appreciation for where I
Right.
came from, because I realized that this culture is unique. There's nothing like Louisiana in any parts of the world. And I was like,
Right.
just blessed to be from here. Because a lot of
Hmm.
areas
Hmm.
love what we have. They like to mimic
Oh,
our
yeah, they do.
culture.
Yes,
And if
they
you
do.
never left from here before, you'll never know that.
No,
You'll
you
never
won't.
know it.
You won't. You really won't.
Mm-hmm.
You got to expand that. You got to expand that fish tank, man. You know, most fish, they only grow to a certain size and a certain size tank.
Exactly.
And the bigger tank you get, the bigger the fish can get.
Yep.
Until you start stepping out, man, I tell all the kids, try to travel, man. Instead of spending money going to the club at night and buying Jordans, get a train ticket, get a bus ticket,
Yeah.
and just go one state over
Yep.
or two states over. Just go to different parts of Louisiana. Just get out of here for a
Mm-hmm.
little while. It
And
will
if
totally change your perspective.
you can't even get outside the state to begin with, go to another little city.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Just
how
a
about this
change of
too, right?
scenery.
I tell kids all the time, if you can't afford to travel at all, that go back to the importance in reading.
A book. A book will take you
Yes.
away real
Because you can
quick.
read about China. You can read about, Africa. You can read about all these. You can read about Mars. Anywhere you want to go in your
Yeah.
mind.
And what's so good about that, you get to imagine. You
Yeah.
imagine it the way
You
you
can
want.
imagine. Yes.
And not just reading
Yes.
nowadays with the internet, you can actually go there and virtually be there.
Mm-hmm.
I know so many guys that are self-taught guys, but their conversation's so sharp, you would think they were well traveled, but they're
Mm.
not. They just read widely and they have that global perspective, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We gotta expand, man. We think that our stuff is the best in the US. We live in a box like. We think our music the best, our writing's the best, our movies are the best, but guess what? Somebody in France got better movies.
Yep.
Somebody in Pakistan got better hip hop than we do. Cause we live in a global world, not just
Mm-hmm.
the US.
Yeah. I agree
So
to
we,
that.
we, we got to start reading books that are foreign. We got to start watching plays and shows that are foreign. We got to watch movies that are foreign. You start really opening up your intelligence doing that.
I'm listening to you. Not
Yes,
to
ma'am.
not to get off of all of that, but I'm listening to you speak.
Okay.
Like, you ever thought about doing something for um like our young guys around here? I feel like
Uh,
you would be so awesome. Like,
I appreciate it. Well,
cause
outside
I
of
mean, like, with the man, they're so lost. Like,
yeah, yeah,
and I feel like a lot of them need that go-to guy, that positive role model. Because I mean, they don't have it. I'm not gonna.
right.
I'm saying we, like I'm
Um,
a boy. They just don't have it. Their dads are
no, no, I
gone.
understand. I understand.
Like they just don't have it.
Um,
And I feel like you would just be great for that.
I appreciate that. I thank you for that. Well, my 9 to 5 occupation is I'm a mental health professional, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I,
okay.
I yeah, so
Oh,
I have
so
about
you
15.
doing the work right now?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just got out that field.
Okay, okay. I've been 12, 13 years as far as dealing with the youth, dealing with the Deltas and their youth program, the AKAs, their youth program. A lot of different programs I've dealt with the youth. I've been doing this. I love doing this, and I will continue doing this at different levels, different mentorship programs. So yeah, I've been boots on the ground doing this, man. And I mentioned that in a part of What's Your Kick in the beginning, like where I get my stance from is my time being a mentor and a counselor, but also a trainer, and just seeing the commonalities in people.
Hmm.
The most successful people I knew had a clear cut idea what they should be doing. They knew their passion. And the people that I saw that was depressed and sad and anxiety and you name it had no idea. They were just wandering in life.
Right.
They had no anchor. Like I said before, if I get fired tomorrow, knock on wood, I don't have a job anymore, but I know where I'm going still. My
Right.
GPS still here.
Mhm.
Take my family, take my wife, take my whatever. My GPS still right here.
Yeah.
But those other people had no GPS. You just driving wasting gas. So that's why I wrote Wish Your Kick to help people start getting that GPS, that North Star in their life.
And correct me if I'm wrong.
Look,
Being that you in,
we both taking some breaths because I'm ready to ask a
yeah,
question.
being
No,
that
go
you're in
ahead.
the mental
I'm here
health
for it.
field, like I would say, just me thinking on my own accord, that to me, not knowing your purpose, that's where depression stimulates from.
Oh yes.
You know.
Think about this. If you're middle aged, like in our 30s,
I
Mhm.
believe that
and you
though.
and you're on social media, Lord Jesus,
There's social media depression now.
most of your classmates get married, they got kids, they
Doctors,
got the
lawyers.
house,
Mhm.
their kids going off to college at this point. I mean, and you feel like I don't have any of this going on. You're totally just sinking in yourself.
Hmm.
It's a very dark place to be in, hard to get out of.
Mm. I couldn't
Look at
imagine.
the anxiety, like, man, I'm in my late 30s. I don't have a kid yet. I only got a certain amount of years to make a kid, and I don't have a man yet. I don't have this yet. I don't have the right job yet. I
Yeah.
haven't graduated yet. Like, all those things cause anxiety and turmoil and stress on the inside of you
And pressure
and
to
pressure,
settle for
right?
anything.
I
Yeah,
feel like it does
yeah.
cause that. I mean, just when I was out of work for like 6 to 7 months, too much time on my hand, I believe, was giving me anxiety and causing me some depression. Cause child, I was thinking about some stuff I had no business thinking
You
about.
get that, you get that negative self-talk,
Oh my
right?
Yeah.
God, yes,
That
that was
self-talk
bad.
is key.
Mm.
And like
Yes.
with like the type of person I got something to do every day, right? So
Yeah.
like I just sit down and I think about people who don't have anything going on at all,
That's
day
Think
in
bad.
about it.
and day out.
That's bad.
Like I don't understand how somebody could live not only
I
like
don't.
that, but you're living in your head
Yes,
because
you
it's
do.
nothing
You
going
do.
on outside of that. So you're
No.
living in your head.
And that's so unhealthy.
I had a job for a lumber company for like 8 years. And we deliver material all over to all these different cities, right? And we would drive by Wednesday at like 1 in the afternoon and see all these guys on the block just chilling.
Hmm.
They smoking, they got a bottle or whatever, like they relax, like cool. And I asked my homeboy, like, man, how they live like that? Like you have no aim.
Mm-mm.
Whenever they walk, it's all like slow and like
Yeah.
it's no appointment. Nobody's expecting you. Nobody's waiting on you. Like you get up whenever, you go to bed whenever. It's very unruly. Like no
Mhm.
structure. You just here.
Yeah.
They running from something though. that
It's
that.
it's like the Walking Dead in
Yeah.
real life, right?
Mhm.
Think about it. That's why I said in chapter one, your kick is going to determine your day.
Yep.
My kick determines when I go to bed, when I wake up, what I eat, what I won't drink. My kick determines that. Before this interview, I'm trying to find the right key for my voice.
There you go.
How
Before
you?
this interview, I'm doing certain things because my voice is my bread and butter.
Right.
My kick determines that. I can't afford to smoke all day. I can't afford to drink certain things. I can't eat certain foods.
Mm-hmm.
My kick dictates that, not my religion, not my family. My passion and what I choose to do dictates my life principles. If you
So
don't have that, you're
Yeah.
doing whatever, whenever.
You have to protect that and take care of that by any means.
Any means,
But
yes.
but but what do like what would you tell somebody that doesn't even know like their kick like
Right.
I
Well,
mean I talk to a lot of people and I'll be like I'll tell them like I want to have two businesses of course but
yes.
they'll be like I don't like I'll talk to them and they'd be like you see how you say you want to do this and you want to do that I don't have anything that I want to do. Like I just want
Right.
to, work. Like I don't have anything that I want to do. What would you tell somebody? What advice would you give them to
Right.
help them find their kick?
Yes, ma'am. And that's why I asked within chapter one these key questions about, like, for example, what kind of thoughts energize you upon waking in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
You get up in the morning, what energizes you? Like, I can't wait to do this.
Mhm.
Or going to bed at night, what keep you up at night thinking about the anticipation? Like today for this? 5 o'clock today? I was last night thinking about this. So for a person that don't have any kick at all, what is that for you that keep you up at night? In a
Right.
good way. Not
Right.
stress. In a good way. Like, boy, tomorrow go to the studio, go record this song, or tomorrow I'm going whatever you do. Make
But
some
Mm-hmm.
blankets or whatever.
some people don't have it at
Right.
all though. I know
Um
at one point in my life I didn't know. Like I had no clue. Till it
yeah,
dawned on me
we
one
all
day.
trying to search.
It dawned on me.
I also asked, how do you define success? That's a loaded question. That one question alone. How do you define success?
Yeah.
Is that monetary? Is that leaving an impact in this world?
Mm-hmm.
Making history? Is that your family lineage being set up? Is
That's the
that
one.
what is that for you?
Yeah.
Right? Next, I love this question. What came to you easily as a kid? You know why I love that question so much? Most people actually run from their gifts. I
What
know a
came to
guy
you
real good at
easily as a
photography, right?
kid?
I know a guy real good with that camera. He said, showing for I don't know how many years of my life, since I was a little boy out playing with a camera.
Mm-hmm.
But I put it down to go and try to pursue this, try to pursue that, try to pursue this. And then to be like 20 years later, go right back to that camera.
Yep.
Like, you know what? This is what I'm supposed to be doing the whole. I wasted 20 years playing around.
I had
I
that.
still had this camera in my head.
I had that kind of conversation with my brother a few
Oh
months
man,
ago. And like you say, you go through life
right?
beats you up, you get things and do things, for the
Let me
sake of taking care of your family. And I
right.
asked him this. I said, brother, I said, what did you do? Think back to your childhood. What did you do that you did carefree? You didn't have to think about it, and it
Yes,
made you feel
easily.
good. And he said
Right.
exactly what I knew he was gonna say. He said art,
See,
drawing. I
I
said,
figured you
so
were gonna say that.
get
I don't
back
know
to
why I
that.
figured that. Yeah,
Because he's a great writer. Like, he can write songs, he could write
you got
poems,
to tap in,
and he
man.
draws really well. And not a lot of people know that. I was like, brother,
Right.
get back to
Right.
art. Do that.
Right.
And he started doing that again.
That's
So,
Let me
cool.
yeah.
tell you my personal situation. Right. My grandfather, 60+ year preacher. My grandmother was the first lady of that church all those years. My grandmother, 40+ year educator. My mom, educator. Like my pedigree in my family is education and religion, if you will, right? I spent most of my life running from both of those.
Hmm.
And now I do it in a different kind of way, but I spend so much of my life now teaching.
That's in your DNA.
I'm teaching, I'm instructing, I'm providing information. I spent so long running from that.
Yeah.
I like
And
these questions though. Like to where you gotta ask yourself that. Like
Yeah.
right. Um, Look at this question, right? If you suddenly had 2 weeks off from your current job, what would you do with most of that time? If you all of a sudden had 2 weeks, you could do whatever you want. What would you do with most of that time?
I would sleep. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I knew she was gonna say that.
Yes, you gonna sleep. You a sleepologist? She a
Yeah,
sleep specialist, huh?
that's her new career, sleepologist.
She a sleepologist, man.
She got her PhD in
But like,
sleepology.
I asked that question because for a lot of us, we want somebody 9 to 5 job, and we're doing our passions in little spots.
Yeah.
We're speaking at schools here and there, a little sprinkle here, sprinkle there. We're writing on our lunch break. We're working out, going to the gym late at night or early in the morning. Like my wife, for an example, with the health and fitness, if she had 2 weeks off, she would just live in the gym. Like that's it. Like lock her in the gym for 2 weeks straight.
I
Bring
need
some
her
food
to
to her,
rub
bring her a
off on
little
me.
snack.
I'm telling you.
But I'm just saying, like that's her passion.
Yeah.
And every free moment she gets, that's clear.
Mm.
Any day off is not sleeping, no offense to sleeping. It's not sleeping till 12 and I'm going to just sit and watch Love and Hip Hop and eat Doritos. Like, no, I'm getting up early on a day off and I'm going to live in there.
Right.
While the kids are at school, I'm getting it in.
Right.
Get them from school, make a little dinner, do the little homework, I'm going back.
Mm-hmm.
So every person should have something they can identify like, man, my free time, I love doing this. I love drawing. I love music, whatever that might be. And it was bad too. In our community, we made certain people feel bad about their passions.
I can relate.
We talk down on certain people like, man, all that music stuff, man, they get a job, bro.
Yeah.
All that fitness and health stuff, look at me with all that, man. I want my boo there. I don't get like the protein shakes and that, the green smoothie. Forget all the smoothies.
Yep.
Why talk down on somebody else's passion?
Yeah.
If it's not yours, be quiet.
Exactly.
Oh, say that again. One more time.
One more time?
One more
With
time.
that same conviction, if it's not yours, be quiet.
Exactly.
Right?
That's
real
like
talk.
So
that's like
why you read so much?
Yeah.
Why would I read so much?
that's like saying to somebody
What
else.
kind of question is that?
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
rude.
I get on my kids all the time. What you eating?
That's
Ugh.
real talk, though.
Don't worry about it.
I like that. Say that one more time. No, I'm joking.
Y'all silly, man. But seriously, I mean, like, I've been a victim of it, and I've seen other people go through it where their spouse or because family could be the worst. Their spouse or their family talk down on them the most about their passion.
Yeah.
And they can't get that support. They can't get that help. They can't get that pat on the back about what they love to do.
Yep. And a
So
lot of the times.
over years, you lose it.
Yeah. And a lot of the times you end up doing something you hate doing because of it.
Yes. Yes.
And then you wake up 60, 70 years old and hating
You
life with
regret it.
regret.
Oh, you regret it. And for my sisters out there, for the ladies, man, what's your kick is important because as you become a mother and you become a wife and all these great things, over years, you can really lose yourself.
Yeah.
I've seen it so many times. You worry about the dance recital and basketball practice and the soccer game over here and I'm going to make dinner and do the homework.
Yeah.
Over years, you forget what did I like doing before I was a mother.
Exactly. I could relate. That used
What
to be so
my
me.
hobby was.
And
I've asked so many females that question. What was your hobby? Before you had kids, what's your hobby? And they sit there just blinking like, I don't know.
yeah.
What you like to do?
Yeah. And a lot of times we as women, we get what's called mom guilt.
Okay.
If we do something for ourselves
Yeah.
I do all the
and
time.
not do it for our kids, we feel guilty. But I used
Right.
to be like that all the time. But
Yeah.
what I had to remember and put in the forefront of my mind, if I don't do this right now, my kids is going to have to do it. So do I
Yeah.
want to do it or do I want to leave it for them to do?
Right.
And
And you
that
gotta
helps me
remember,
get through.
Our sisters, you really set the tone in the house. I know the man is the heart, the head, and the leader, all that phenomenal stuff. But the women, most times, set the tone and the temperature in the house. So if you say, man, you know what, I want to go to school again, but my daughter's still in school, I'm going to wait till she graduates 10 years from now. Like, no, let her see you doing homework too.
Yes.
Let her see you eating healthy too. Let her see you working out too.
Yep.
And then she going to know, man, mama working out.
Yeah.
Mama eating healthy. Mama going to school at night. Mama doing a second job. Mama doing hobbies. That helped them to lead them by example, not by words.
Right.
They replicate actions
Yeah.
more than words. So for any mother that's listening, man, you got something you want to do, you having that mommy guilt, Like, please try to find a way to push past that, and your kids gonna benefit more whenever you shine it.
You have that mom guilt talk to me, because I had it the
Have that,
worst. Oh.
have that. See, once again, some folks haven't traveled yet, right? But if you flying, they always tell you like, look, in the case of emergency, put your mask on first, not your child. Put on your mask.
So you could help them.
Yes. If your mask not on and you pass out, your child's stuck.
Exactly.
Now both of y'all passed out. Put your mask on first, then your child. So yes, mom, get your health and fitness together first. Get your mind together first. Get your relationship together first. And your child gonna flourish because of that.
Yes.
It's a byproduct.
Yes.
Not the flip side around. It's not.
Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. Be sure to tune in next week for part 2 of this interview. If you like what we're doing and want to be a part of our movement and support the show, please go to onesoundoneseen.buzzsprout.com. Click on the episode. Under the player, there are icons there. Be sure to hit the heart icon to the far right, or go directly to patreon.com/onesoundoneseen. There you will get exclusive info on what is offered to our aspire, inspire, and pour into other supporters, and how your support will benefit what we do. We appreciate you, and we thank you for any level of support. Also, don't forget to sign up for Spit That, guys. The deadline is this Friday, April 5th by 9 p.m. If you're a rapper, singer, poet, or comic, guys, be sure to sign up for that. It will be amazing. Registration is only $20, guys. If you want to attend the show, it's only $5 at the door. Come be a part of the show. We will have judges, DJ guys. We will have drink specials, as well as voting, and the audience will be able to participate in that, so you don't want to miss that. If you're an independent artist with positive music and would like your music featured on our up-and-coming show, be sure to email us an MP3 file of sample-free radio versions of your original music and your social links to onesoundoneseen@gmail.com. Please note that any music that does not meet all criteria mentioned will not be featured on the show. If you like hanging with us, be sure to tune in every Wednesday at 6 a.m. for new episodes at onesoundoneseen.buzzsprout.com or on YouTube at onesoundoneseen. Well, this concludes episode 9 of our show. It's been super fun. Thanks again for tuning in to One Sound, One Scene podcast. Closing us out is a song from Strategic Peoples featuring SJ on Point titled I See the Game. You can find them on Instagram at Strategic People and at S_J on Point. Be sure to find this song on all streaming platforms, guys. Always remember, if you help enough people get what they want, you will always get what you want. Aspire, inspire, and pour into others. Until next time, folks. One Sound, One Scene. We are out.
Yeah. And it's evident. Look. You see, cash rules everything around me. Cream, I gotta get the green. I gotta chase these dreams. I gotta hustle around the clock. It ain't no slacking when I roam. I gotta be a go-getter. I can't ever stop. Some nights I sweat I never ate. So I'm coming for the whole plate. I want it all. When I was down and out, what the fuck was y'all? Feeling like Mac and Soldier Slim, can I ball? Hey, I'm diddy bopping through the city, feeling like a motherfucking king, and Chelsea was looking pretty. She a black queen, she was down in the beginning, and I'm a BMW, a black man winning. I got the vision, I ain't talking about arithmetic. I see the game for what it's worth, so I move a little different. Since when it's cool to be the buyer, not the seller. Yeah, I guess this fire at the bottom like a cellar. I see the game. Yeah, I see the game. I'm on. I see the game. Since when it's cool to be the buyer. Since when it's cool to be the buyer, not the seller. I'm on my hip hop. I'm chasing bank like a teller. My flow bring dough and I could go with a beat all acapella. Give me the mozzarella or fame. Y'all hustle to be seen. I do it for my last name. society is real. So I'm the deal. Gorilla in the field. You can XK chill. I drop a bag on my rollie. Them dudes don't know me. I go Kobe with the fro. Them dudes can't hold me. I'm like Mike in his prime. LeBron at game time. I'm my own nigga, so you know I love to shine. I'm always on the grind and I ain't talking Tony. See, I'm real. Them bars looking counterfeit. My bars ill. Yeah, my flow been sounding kinda sick. My brothers say give them hell, so now I'm my sister say get my mail, so now I'm stacking chips. I'm great, I'm perfect, I'm magnificent. I see the game. I see the game. I'm on fire. I'm in my zone right now.